The Fokker 100 is a medium-sized twin-turbofan airliner from Fokker. Low operational costs and scant competition in the 100-seat short-range class led to strong sales when it was introduced in the late 1980s, but sales fell as competition increased. Production ended in 1997 with 283 airframes delivered. In July 2012, 156 Fokker 100 aircraft remained in airline service with 30 airlines around the world. It was the largest jet airliner built by Fokker before its bankruptcy in 1997. Design and development: the Fokker F-28 Mk0100 program was announced in 1983 as an updated replacement for Fokker's popular, but superseded F-28 Fellowship design. Marketed as the Fokker 1000, the design was based on the original F-28 but features modern avionics, new generation Rolls-Royce twin-turbofan engines and a redesigned wing. However, the most noticeable difference was the longer fuselage, which increased seating by 65% from 65 in the original F-28 series to a maximum of 107 in a 3x2 single-class arrangement. The new wing is claimed by Fokker to be 30% more efficient in cruise, while still keeping the simplicity of a fixed leading edge. The cockpit was updated with a Rockwell Collins DU-1000 EFIS. Like the Fokker Fellowship, the Fokker 100 features twin rear fuselage-mounted engines and a T-tail, similar to that of the Douglas DC-9 family. The Fokker 100 does not have eyebrow windows above the main cockpit windows as on the Fokker F-28. Two prototypes were built. The first, PHMKH, flew for the first time on November 30, 1986, and the second, PHMKC, followed on February 25, 1987. The type certificate was awarded in November 1987. The first deliveries of the TE-620-15 powered versions started to Swissair in February 1988. American Airlines, TAM Transports or Copyright Rios Regiones and USAIR were major customers of the Fokker 100, and their aircraft were powered by the more powerful TE-650-15. Operational history: by 1991, Fokker has produced 70 units and had orders for more than 230. An extended range version with additional fuel tanks in the wings was introduced in 1993, and a quick-change passenger freighter version in 1994, the 100QC. A shorter version was introduced in 1993 as a replacement for the earlier F-28, known as the Fokker 70, which removed 4.70 am of the fuselage and reduced seating to 80. Studies on the 130-seat Fokker 130 and the Fokker 100QC did not reach further stages of development. A Fokker 100 EJ was introduced in 2003 as a conversion from used Fokker 100 aircraft. Although the design was a success in the marketplace, Fokker continued to lose money due to mismanagement. Eventually their parent company, Daimler-Benz Aerospace, shut them down. Fokker collapsed in 1996 and wound up production in early 1997. There had been some discussion about the company being purchased by Bombardier, but the plans fell through. An Amsterdam-based group, Rec of Restart, negotiated to reopen the Fokker 70 and 100 lines in 1999, but the deal never completed. Stork BV acquired the maintenance business for the aircraft and operated it under the name Fokker Aviation. Like any number of designs, the 70/100 was being increasingly squeezed from below by stretched versions of the Bombardier and Embraer regional jets, which also killed off plans for the Fairchild Dornier 528 JET, 928 JET and an unnamed design from ATR. A proposed stretch version called the Fokker 130 was never built. From 2014 the French DGASA's Envol used a Fokker 100 as a flying test bed. It replaced former Dassault Mystery 20's business jet. This Fokker 100 is a former RA copyright Gunnels aircraft. It's called ABENG, for Avion Banque d'Essais de Nouvelle Gare copyright NA copyright Ration. Operators: as of March 2014, 160 aircraft are still in operational use with airlines. Air Nijni, Air Panama, Alliance Airlines, Austrian Airlines, Avianca Brasil, Becair, Compagnie Africaine d'Aviation, Carpetair, Caspii, Greenland Express, Helvetic Airways, Iran Air, Iran Asman Airlines, Kish Air, MJET Aviation, Moldavian Airlines, Network Aviation, Montenegro Airlines, Naft Airlines, Palita Air, PGA Portugalia Airlines, QESHM Airlines 4, Government of Ivory Coast, Skippers Aviation, Australia, Virgin Australia Regional Airlines, Trade Air, Transvasata Air, former operators, Aero Mongolia, Air Berlin, Air Europe, Air Express, Air France, Air Gabon, Air Greece, Air Inter, Air Littoral, Air Aquarius Aviation, American Airlines, Avianca, Blue Line, BMI British Midland, Brit Air, Canadian Airlines, CCM Airlines, Contact Air, Cosmic Air, Croatia Airlines, UJet, FlightWest Airlines, Germania, Gurjit, Inter Airlines, Iran Air Transport, JETSGO, Kish Air, KLM Cityhopper, Korean Air, CoStar Airlines, Mandarin Airlines, Merpati Nusantara Airlines, Mexisana, Midway Airlines, Moldavian Airlines, OLT Jet Air, Palair Macedonian Airlines, Ra Copyright Guinea, Royal Brunei Airlines, Royal Swazi National Airlines, SAM, Sempati Air, Slovak Airlines, Soldel Paraguay, Swissair, TABA, TAM Airlines, TAT European Airlines, WARE, US Airways, Youngnam Air, Accidents and Incidents, 5 of March 1993, March 5, 1993, AA Europolair Macedonian Airlines Flight 301, a Fokker 100 crashed shortly after takeoff from Skopje Airport on its way to Zurich Airport, killing 83 of 97 passengers and crew on board. 31 October 1996, October 31, 1996, AA Euro TAM Airlines Fokker 100 operating Flight 402 crashed next to Sao Paulo Congonhas Airport in Brazil, killing 99 people, including everyone on board plus 4 people on the ground. 9 July 1997, July 9, 1997, AA Euro TAM Airlines Fokker 100 registration PTWHK operating Flight 283 en route from Sao Paulo José Copyright dos Campos to Sao Paulo Congonhas was climbing after takeoff from Sao Paulo José Copyright dos Campos when a bomb exploded in the rear part of the passenger cabin. The uncontrolled decompression blew one passenger out of the aircraft. The aircraft made a successful emergency landing in Sao Paulo, despite the hole in the fuselage. 7 November 1999, November 7, 1999, AA Euro Air Dolomiti Flight 2708, a Fokker 100 flying from Venice Marco Polo Airport with 44 on board, suffered main gear failure while approaching Barcelona International Airport and landed safely on a foam carpet. 23 Maya 2001, May 23, 2001, AA Euro the right main landing gear of an American Airlines Fokker 100, registration number N1419D, operating as AA Flight 1107, collapsed upon landing on runway 17C at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport after a scheduled flight from Charlotte Douglas International Airport. The pilot was able to maintain directional control and bring the aircraft to a stop on the runway. The incident was attributed to metal fatigue caused by a manufacturing flaw in the right main gear's outer cylinder. There were no serious injuries to the 88 passengers or 4 crew, but the aircraft was written off. 15 September 2001, September 15, 2001, AA Euro TAM Airlines Fokker 100 registration PTMRN operating the charter flight 9755, flying from Recife to Campinas Viracopo. Following an uncontained engine failure en route to Campinas had 3 cabin windows shattered by fragments of the engine and made an emergency landing at below horizontal confines. 1 passenger was sucked out partly and held by another passenger until the aircraft landed. The passenger did not survive. 8 June 2002, 2002-30-08, AA Euro TAM Airlines Fokker 100 en route from Sao Paulo to Marechal Rondon International Airport. Kiba made a successful emergency landing in a farm near Barigay due to fuel exhaustion caused by a leak. All 5 crew and 24 passengers survived without injuries. Unfortunately, a cow was run over and killed by the airplane. 25 January 2007 January 25, 2007, Air France Flight 7775 from Pau to Paris crashed shortly after takeoff. All 54 passengers and crew escaped from the aircraft, although one person on the ground was killed. An investigation by the BEA revealed that the cause of the accident was ice on the wings of the aircraft involved. 2 February 2008 February 2, 2008, an Austrian Airlines Fokker 100 made an emergency landing at Leeds Bradford International Airport in the UK, after the right engine was reported idle. The pilots landed safely, and there were no injuries among the 103 passengers and crew on board. 12 August 2009 August 12, 2009, the wheel on an Asman Airlines Fokker 100 exploded and caught fire as the aircraft made a hard landing in the city of Isfahan. 14 September 2009, September 14, 2009, Contact Air Flight 288 from Berlin-Tegel was forced to make an emergency landing at Stuttgart Airport, Germany. None of the passengers, including well-known German politician Franz Marwan caught interfering, was seriously injured. 18 November 2009, November 18, 2009, Iran Air Fokker 100 EPCFO suffered a landing gear malfunction on takeoff from Isfahan International Airport. The aircraft was on a flight to Murabad Airport, Tehran when the undercarriage failed to retract. The aircraft landed at Isfahan, but was substantially damaged when the left main gear collapsed. 3 December 2009, December 3, 2009, Mirpati Nusantara Airlines Fokker 100 PKMJD made an emergency landing at El Tari Airport, Kipang when the left main gear failed to extend. There were no injuries among the passengers and crew. 15 January 2010, January 15, 2010, Iran Air Fokker 100 EPIDA, operating Flight 223 was substantially damaged when the nose gear collapsed after landing at Isfahan International Airport. 11 February 2010, February 11, 2010, Click Mexusana Fokker 100 XASHJ, operating Flight CBE 7222 was forced to land on its belly due to a presumed mechanical failure of the landing gear. It was routed to make an emergency landing at Aeropuerto Internacional de Monterrey where the aircraft overran the runway. None of the passengers were seriously injured. 25 August 2010, August 25, 2010, Iran Asman Airlines Fokker 100, operating as Flight 773, overran the runway on landing at Tabriz International Airport in bad weather. The aircraft was substantially damaged. 25 December 2012, December 25, 2012, Air Bagan Flight 11XYAGC crash-landed through trees which removed the wings 3 km from Aero Airport, killing 1 on board, 1 on the ground and injuring 11. 28 March 2014, March 28, 2014, Avian Club Brazil Fokker 100 Mk28, operating as Flight 6393 was forced to land on its belly at Brasilia International Airport due to a presumed mechanical failure of the landing gear. 44 passengers and 5 crew members were on board. Everyone survived the event. 10 Maya 2014, May 10, 2014, Iran Asman Airlines Fokker 100 operating as Flight 8053 made an emergency landing at Zaidan Airport when the rear wheels of the plane failed to lower. The pilot was required to circle the field for about an hour to consume excess fuel, before attempting the landing. Upon touchdown, the front tire exploded, and the aircraft was transitioned onto the grassy margins of the runway, without severe injuries. Aircraft on display. XKLM City Hopper PHOFA preserved at Lelystad Airport at the Aviodrome, XKLM City Hopper PHOFE preserved at Amsterdam Airport Schiphol on Visitors Terrace, XTAM Liners or Copyright Res PTMRL preserved at QSC in Retro Scheme, at TAM's Museum, and known Fokker 100 preserved in Breda on the roof of Stolwerk Met Tunnel BV, specifications, notes, Data are provided for reference only. T620 equals Rolls-Royce TMK 60 2015 and T650 equals Rolls-Royce TMK 65015. Sources: airliners.net, Airita BR. See also, related development, Fokker 70, aircraft of comparable role, configuration and era, Airbus A318, Antonov 158, British Aerospace 146, Boeing 717, Bombardier CRJ1000, Embraer E190-195, Fairchild Dornier 728 family, Sukhoi Superjet 100, Tupolev Tu-334, Yakovlev Yak-42D, related lists. List of civil aircraft, references, notes. Bibliography. External links, Fokker 100 page on manufacturer's site, Future 100 executive jet and operators pages on fokkerservices.com, Rec of project, Rec for Fokker 100 NG, Fokker 100 info.